Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
welcome to MME Live. This is a no drama episode. Well, mate, we'll try to squeeze it in. We'll see. People, we're gonna talk about important stuff. Is it clickbait? It's not necessarily clickbait. I saw Zeno in the chat. We're going to talk about it. I've done a lot of thinking. I've reevaluated that Sarnoff article. And
what's up, Zeno?
Oh, yeah. So here's the main topic. We have lots of movie topics, so stay tuned. And if you have more topics, like Zeno is tired of hearing about Snyder Cut, Zeno, I'm waiting for you in the chat to say, give me a movie topic then. What's the HBO Max Netflix bidding war?
You know what I want to see happen? Well, you know what I want to see happen, Max? I want Zeno to join us on a live stream someday. That's what I want to happen because he has a lot of views. He has a lot of
live stream would be
opinions.
like 5 hours long. We would never stop arguing with him.
Nah.
We'll see. Open invitation to Zeno. Maybe if enough people
I was gonna invite Zeno to be on the Zod Rider show one week. I would love to interview Zeno. I think that'd be fun.
I tune in for that.
That would be great.
Binge Buddy, is this the Infinity War of Mad Max? No. Mad Max Verse. I mean, that's what the panel is. Matt Wilkins, I'm good to go, Max. Just let me know if you need me to join. Yeah, Matt, I would love to have you on, but I lost track. You ever have an email just set up for one thing and then you lose track of the password and you can't get in? And that's what's going on, Matt.
He had a Max moment.
Yeah, and he basically every day. And then Matt doesn't have Twitter. And I don't even do Discord anymore. I'm locked out of my old email and Discord. I'm like, I don't remember what I put as the. Now this, my Diaz, he said, now this is an important topic. Okay.
Who's all my Diaz?
That's right.
Eddie.
It's Eddie.
Eddie.
Are you serious when you just said that?
No, I just wanted you to talk.
All right, Chubby Teddy. I invite Chubby Teddy.
What's up, Chubby Teddy? Chubby Teddy's awesome.
He's gonna eat some popcorn and nachos. Ben Workman, how's everyone tonight? We're great.
What's up, Ben?
Oh my Diaz, he's right here.
God, it's all my Diaz guy again. Jesus.
Zeno says rumor. Yes, it is a rumor.
Everything is rumor till it's confirmed. So what can we say? Or
Black Angus reviews doubt. But holy hell, that'd be cool. Your title, I mean, Max. Listen, the other thing that's working for Snyder is the Army of the Dead. I think everyone in the industry's already saw it, and they know
it's going to be a massive hit.
The best thing he could do is release a new trailer for that.
The best thing we could do is support everything that Zack does, like blow up Twitter for Army of the Dead the same way we've been doing for the Snyder Verse.
Yeah. Well, the best thing you could do is stop watching this and just go watch Snyder Cut again. But don't do that yet.
Have it on in the background, guys. Come on now.
How many times are you?
I got it on in the background on my arcade.
Let's get a count. How many times has Zeno watched it? Maybe one. I watched it 4 or 5 times. It might be 4. I know at least 4. At least
5
4.
If you include Justice.
Three for me with Justice Gray in there one time. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Justice Gray.
I also researched a Vero, on Vero. Zack Snyder did a watch party. I'm gonna try to.
I got that.
I'm gonna try to watch that while I watch it again.
Thing. It's great. It's really good. It's like he's on there at the beginning, introducing and talking about it and stuff, and then it's just kind of like a chat on the side of the screen, so you can watch the movie with like a group of people. It's pretty cool.
Zeno, why is it depressing? They come back. They unite the Justice League.
Zeno, what's your favorite movie, bro? I sincerely want to know.
Max,
what's your favorite movie, man?
Yes.
That Oh My Diaz guy is bullying me in the chat right now.
Well, block him. Put him in a timeout.
He's up. I feel personal.
Yeah, aren't you our mod? I mean, you could block him.
I feel uncomfortable blocking him because what if he makes an alt account and then comes on as somebody named Eddie, and then I'd be really scared.
The force is female.
That's right.
Be alarmed. Runs with scissors. Long live the Snyder Verse. Hell yeah. But is there let's reevaluate the Ann Sarnoff article, Variety. We think it was ahead of time. Now, what do we know about Zack? He basically did this for free. Anything he could have probably, if he was another director, well, this wouldn't have happened anyway. But if he didn't do this for free, the studio could have came in and said, "Hey, we want you to make this change, this change, this change, and this change." But because he agreed to do it for free, he got creative carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wanted. That's the difference. They're not paying him, so they just let him do whatever he wanted to do. And that's the nightmare sequence scene. Spoilers towards the end. That might not happen too if he accepted a paycheck instead. But what's the other thing? The reason this is such a different situation than like Wonder Woman 3. Like people say, well, why did they announce Wonder Woman 3 the weekend after? Well, Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins are probably already under contract. The Snyder Cut with Zack, they pretty much have to renegotiate everything. They have to negotiate his contract, and they have to negotiate each actor's contract. Because what they want Ben Affleck to reprise his role in Flash and be done. They want, if they bring back Cavill, it might be in Shazam 2 or Black Adam, and that be done. So if they do a miniseries, they have to negotiate. And what is Hollywood great at doing? They throw stuff out there to make it more like, oh, we finished your trilogy. Because guess what? Do you think he's going to just phone it in now and just like, I'll do it for free again? Hell no, he's not doing it for free again. He is not doing it for free when he is the most sought after actor or director on streaming right now.
That article is probably not as bad as it looked initially because of the fact that Ann Sarnoff is talking about theatrical. She's talking about Warner Brothers. She's not talking about what HBO Max is going to do. She's not talking about what Warner Media per se is going to do, but she's basically saying, if you're hoping for Zack Snyder to come back and release Justice League 2 theatrically, you can keep dreaming because it's never going to happen. But she has to, she can't really definitively say that Zack won't be. That's why she's talking about a trilogy. She's treating Justice League like it's the final Warner Brothers movie for Zack Snyder, treating it like, okay, you got Man of Steel, BVS, and
well,
Zack
this
Snyder
is what I want to ask.
Wait, before we start, before you ask the question, good job bringing Firewater in here to take over the show and make us all look like uneducated a-holes.
No,
hi Firewater.
Yay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Firewater.
Hey, Firewater.
Good evening. Good evening.
You think he does that to us? What if he went on a Geek and Gamer stream? Oh boy.
Well, he already has been. He already was on there. But anyway, RJ, go ahead and ask your
Yeah,
question.
they didn't invite me back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
I wonder
I
why.
can't imagine why. No, but what I wanted to ask the panel was, okay, so that Ann Sarnoff interview came out Variety, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that the hierarchy of Warner Media, Jason Kilar is above Ann Sarnoff. So did Ann Sarnoff do that interview like without Jason Kilar knowing what was going to be said, or did Jason Kilar go ahead and say that's okay? I just want that to be clarified because that's like so confusing me. Is Jason Kilar okay with what Ann Sarnoff said? Because I feel like that's going to be a big answer to like where the future of this is going.
True. That's hard to determine. I mean,
because Ann Sarnoff, Jason
my
Kilar is her boss. So
right.
Well, I mean, but she's also the CEO, right? So I got to imagine the CEO can do her own press or his or her own press as they see. Now, that's not to say you got to remember too, they're probably also operating in real time. They were probably hoping that the reception for the Snyder Cut would be like meh or whatever, but it's not. It's resoundingly positive, excuse me. So what they could always backtrack unless Zack signs with Netflix for 10 years. Sorry, I got an exclusive over there. They locked me up for 5-10 years, then we're screwed.
Well, this is actually the best scenario for Zack is to have something else there. Because if he didn't have this Army of the Dead or something else going on, it's going to look real. It's going to be very embarrassing if they let this not happen and then Zack becomes super successful over at Netflix. And they not only did they mess up his vision, he had to fight to get it made, but they let him go. And then he's a super prolific director, one of the most sought after directors for streaming. Well,
not only that too. I mean, they could always do an HBO Max movie and then do like a limited theater release. Let's say he wants Justice League 2 to be 4.5 hours or whatever. And because of the success of his Justice League, he could probably dictate a lot of terms, I can imagine.
How much money would Zack need though for sequels?
Well, here's my thing. You know what I think?
Feedback.
Do you know?
Wait, who's playing Space Invaders in the background? I want to play.
What the heck?
Is that me?
I don't know who that is. Eddie? No.
Eddie's muted, so it's not him.
Sounds like we're playing Asteroids. It's actually kind of cool.
I don't know who. I don't know. I muted a bunch of people, and I don't know what.
Yeah, I just muted my own mic, and I still heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was WB.
It just might be on your end. But here's a theory. So, how many of you guys would probably, once theaters open back up, if they did have a theater release of Zack Snyder's Justice League, would you guys buy tickets to see it again in the theaters?
Yeah, it would be a tough sell to take my wife there. I got to be honest with you. And I'd have to see if some of my friends would want to go. But 4 hours in a theater without an intermission would be a lot for me.
Well, there is an intermission.
There is an intermission. It's been made for the theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, but not only that. I mean, Lord of the Rings. I sat through the whole Lord of the Rings and fell asleep during parts of it, but woke up and caught the rest of it. But my thing is, I think if they do it that way to see if people, like, you know, people who didn't see it or don't have HBO Max and didn't want to pay for it, you know, other people, that opens up a market for people who don't have that and see where that goes. And then if he wanted to do that, I think I think he could do it. I think they would pay him money if for theater releases. Once the theaters open up, we won't know until that happens. But
and I think it's a hell of an experiment. I mean, like that could drag people in because it's not like anyone's going, right? I mean, the theaters are open, but a lot of people are not going.
How much money would Zack Snyder need though to do the other 2 sequels? Like, how much money does he need? Because
I don't know what his expenses are. I don't know what his. I mean, he would obviously receive millions of dollars. How many? How many times over? I don't know. I mean, are you talking his personal fee or production budget?
Like, how much is HBO Max really realistically going to spend? Is another question.
You know what? I will give HBO this. They are not afraid to spend money on, like, Game of Thrones before it took a big steaming dump. That was one of the most expensive shows ever produced, and they didn't care. They threw money at it. Mm-hmm. So whatever they need. I don't know what that number would be. That's why I get mad. $250 to produce.
That's why I get mad at people that use money as the issue for saying that Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 won't happen on HBO Max, because HBO Max could just treat it like a series and continue it. And they'll, like you just said, Firewater, they'll just throw money at it.
They're not afraid to spend.
It's Game of Thrones. I mean,
By the way, side note, can we all just talk about how the fact that it cost millions of dollars to make a movie about the times when everyone was poor and didn't have money, like medieval times and stuff? It cost so much money to recreate poor living. Like, that's
yeah. I mean, look at the Lord of the Rings movies, how high the budget. You know, Pirates of the Caribbean, like the third one's like $400 million just for that movie alone.
I know BVS was expensive to make too. That's why when it didn't like crack $1 billion in the box office, the studio like, oh my god, I'm not getting my bonus.
I didn't mean to overshadow Zeno, but I wanted to make that point because it's funny. But what was Zeno's comment?
Who believes
Man of clinical depression.
Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one.
I thought Man of Steel was a good one.
He says he was nice and happy until he saw Man of Steel. Now he has clinical depression.
I like Batman versus Superman more than.
There's a number for you to call, Zeno. I will give it to you after the show.
But in terms of production budget, I'm assuming it would probably cost like $150 to $200 million to produce another 4-hour flick. Because you remember now the actors kind of have some leverage as well.
Yeah,
you know, you got to bring back everybody. And they're going to want more money.
Well, not necessarily at the start. You could start with like a Batman episode. You could see how it goes, and then.
Well, here's an idea. What if like they do Justice League 2 and 3 as like a series, right? And they introduce new league members, and then slowly, like you guys are saying, bring back the old guys. You know, that way, like they don't have to pay them like too much money to come back.
I think HBO just doesn't care if people want it, and it'll get them subs. I hope that Zack Snyder chooses to work for HBO Max over Netflix, because Netflix will cancel your favorite show after 2 or 3 seasons.
That's true.
They'll say, well, the actors want too much money, production costs got too high. Sorry.
Right. That's why they canceled Altered Carbon, because the budget wasn't there and the view count wasn't there either. So Netflix, I would say, they're not afraid to cancel shows that aren't getting good returns as far as viewership. Like, that's why they have canceled a lot of shows, because they just didn't want to spend the money on it, which is understandable.
Even if your show is successful, they'll cancel you after 4 seasons because they don't want to pay royalties.
Right. And not only that, like, because the actors, I mean, if you look at Stranger Things, for example, the actors were doing okay in the first season, and their salaries went up considerably for seasons 2 and 3. And then, after the 4th, we'll do season 4 and then a movie, and then we're going to call it. And it's like, that's a great show. That show could go on for 6, 7, 8 seasons, in my opinion.
But I do like that Netflix doesn't overdo shows and seasons, because after a while, like, I love Supernatural. Don't get me wrong, but man, I was happy to see it end. I really was. And even though I wasn't too thrilled with the ending of Supernatural, I could say, like, long shows that take so long, so many seasons, after a while, the stories just seem like, what can you do? You can't go on forever.
I don't foresee them going on forever. I think they try to complete his vision or alter it. Do limited
it'll be a back to back. It'll be a back to back thing. Make no mistake.
Both at the same time.
If Zack Snyder gets the green light to do this, he's going to do 2 and 3 back to back, so that he doesn't have to pay anybody to come back later. He doesn't have to do. It's gonna all get done right away, and that's gonna be something that I think HBO Max
look how much content he's able to film. Right, I mean that was no reshoots. I mean, besides the Nightmare sequence.
So Nightmare was a reshoot. I heard they were all stand-ins. Like none of the actors were actually on set with each other.
Maybe
is that correct? I don't know.
Right. It was all done because of COVID. It was all done.
Can I just say something?
Because that's very impressive. Because they had
Roosevelt said it's not going to happen, and honestly, I hate when people say this, because, like, we don't know. When we talk about these things, we're talking about speculations of things that we were giving our opinions, but, like, nobody knows if it's going to happen. We're just talking about how it could happen or why we think it should happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to happen or that it is going to happen. It's just
to say they don't have the money either would be a lie.
Right.
That's money. It's whether they want to spend it or not.
Well,
so
Brian
has means. It's whether they have willingness.
I have a cautionary tale.
Right. Okay. Brian has an excellent topic coming up soon. But I wanted to just highlight Matt's comment, because I do think that's fair criticism. I like Aquaman, Jason Momoa. I don't think he shined any brighter in this version than the other. Than his Aquaman movie. I do like the Aquaman movie. I think it was more refined. I agree with that. I don't think he was bad at all, but there wasn't. There was a few more action sequences that were great. Listen, I'm Jason Momoa way back. Oh, what's that?
Zeno did a thing.
What?
He finally did his mod duties. Look, he did a thing.
He posted your Twitter link.
I'm so proud of him. Oh yeah, Zeno, you do your thing, boy. See,
thanks, Matt.
He's a great mod. I told you.
That's remain to be seen.
And Geek Studios, right? Ben Affleck is expensive.
Well, he's getting older too. Like I know he's had a lot. He's had a lot of personal battles
for so long.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, has Affleck expressed interest in coming back at all? Because I'm just wondering, because I know he was going through a lot of stuff in his personal life. So
I think it would actually personally help him, because he went out of a spiral after the, Batman vs Superman got trashed, and that was half the studio's fault. I think if they did Ultimate Edition in the theater, it probably would have cracked $1 billion, and it probably would have done a lot better.
Firewater, it would have cracked $1 billion if they didn't cut the theatrical run short. They cut the theatrical run short.
No, that's what I'm saying. You do Ultimate Edition, which is 30 minutes more runtime, right? Which did add a lot. I mean, they sprinkled
all right, here's Paul. Hey, Paul. Don't sub to Paul. No, I'm just kidding. Halogen Helix, he thinks he's going to be on the show one day. I'm just kidding. He said Anne was really specific that it wasn't going to happen on HBO. I don't think she was specific about that. She said,
let's pull up the article and fact check.
Yeah, his trilogy was completed.
I don't think she even mentioned. She didn't mention HBO Max.
No, she did not. She just said, we're moving on to other endeavors.
Yeah, and that's fine. I just wish they would let him finish his arc
Yeah,
it still felt like a slap in the face though when she said that. When everyone was vibing after the Snyder Cut was released, she comes out of nowhere with that interview. That was the most disrespectful thing I saw.
All right, Paul does give interesting comments. I'll give him that. But he says Snyder has moved on to his Netflix movie and Camelot.
And maybe that's true. If Netflix tied him up and they could tie him up on exclusive rights, then yeah, Snyder Verse unfortunately will only get 3 out of the 5, which I think would be a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Well, yes, Edward, I see you in the chat. Edward wants to talk about the Suicide Squad. I've been seeing the comments. I was just waiting for everyone to get their
trust me, Edward, I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, I like how.
I see you, Edward. I got your back, Edward. I was peeping.
Well, I'm gonna get to this geekosity, and I want to pose the question, especially to Firewater. We all, in me too. I'm guilty of this too. I was upset when I saw that Ian Sarnoff article too. But if they were serious about going forward, like Jason Keelar, HBO Max, bringing back Zack for a series, and they were trying to go to the negotiation table, do you think it's out of the realm of possibility that they would be throwing this out there as a negotiation tactic? Because guess what? He did this for free before. He ain't doing it for free again.
No, of course not.
Oh no.
So do you think this is possibly a negotiation tactic?
It could be. I think Anne is operating with the best knowledge that she has right now.
Mm-hmm.
That could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think at the time of publication, I truly believe she believes what she's saying. Now, that's not to say minds can't be changed and things can't change, of course. But that's just my opinion on it. I mean, the buzz on this is just so real. It's the biggest I've ever seen for anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I first, because I remember I wasn't even on. I was like, oh, Snyder Cut. I was like, oh, well, I hope. And then I heard what they did about it. So, like, I wasn't against the Snyder Cut, but I was like, my attitude was at the time, I was like, well, they already released the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you're going to re-release the same movie again? All right. And then that's exactly what happened. Well, a different movie, but like his version of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wasn't like against it, but I was like, hey, if people want to, rally for this thing, I'm not going to criticize you for wanting a product.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I just didn't really join in until recently. After I saw it, I was like, well, we need the other 2 movies. And then afterwards, if he says he's done, he ran out of gas, he hung up, he's out, I think the fans would be like, okay, fair enough.
So Zeno, this isn't exactly my title of my, oh, God damn it, geekosity. HBO Max and Netflix offering Zack Snyder exclusivity deals. So this is an article on Geekosity. Zack Snyder is now a wanted man as HBO Max. Listen, if you go by Disney, HBO, and Netflix too, the worst thing you could do when you're trying to get subs is also let talent go. Now that Emmerich and Hamada are saying they didn't want him, which I believe it, but now if it's a streaming service and you let the talent go somewhere else, it's bad. Just like they got the Mando over on HBO Max now for The Last of Us too.
That's a great point, Max. And what people have to remember is that Netflix initially went to Warner Brothers for the Snyder Cut when they saw the demand in the beginning of the Snyder Cut movement.
Oh, they did?
And Warner Brothers didn't want to release it. Netflix went to them and said, hey, can we get that Snyder Cut and put it on Netflix? And Warner Brothers said no.
Well, also, to go back off what Zod was saying, when Godzilla vs. Kong was having those negotiations, Netflix was going to pay them $400 million, and that's what led them to go with that HBO Max thing. So they have a relationship, they're in that dichotomy.
This is how Hollywood works. If someone else wants it, you can't have it too. It's also, how he's saying source for that. He doesn't necessarily. He's like, okay. You have to dig it up. There's articles about that particular topic. Well, Netflix has been trying to scoop up a lot of stuff.
Have to dig it up,
just as a blow to others.
And Netflix spends about $1.5 billion on licensing fees for stuff that isn't theirs. So any IPs,
it's not fake news. It's not fake news.
We want sources. According to
it happened a long time ago.
Okay.
But anyways, regarding Netflix, they're trying to do more original content because the licensing fees, they pay a crap load of money. Yeah. You got Disney Plus, they don't pay crap for licensing.
I mean, Netflix had the paid for the international distribution rights for Star Trek Discovery, and look at how well that turned out for Netflix. So you're right, Netflix is no stranger forking over big money for stuff that they see as potentially profitable. And if they could have got the Snyder Cut, that would have been huge for Netflix.
Okay, it's been reported. This is small screen now. Zeno wanted me to click the link. It is small. It is small on my screen. This type is really small. Oh God. Okay, it's been reported to us by sources close to both HBO sources. Everyone have the salt. Great assault. Close to both HBO Max and Netflix that both streaming platforms have been trying to tie Zack Snyder down for exclusivity deals. Now, these sources come to us separate from one another. So there's more than one source. One who reportedly close ties to Netflix, and the other who claims to be linked with HBO Max. They are claiming that they're trying to get Zack Snyder locked into an exclusivity deal with them. So this is all you have to realize. I honestly believe, after taking a second look, that there is one of the benefits is Army of the Dead coming out. The other benefit is embarrassment, because they're already they won't admit it, but they might be embarrassed because the reception's very good, and then to lose him again and then be very profitable and well known over on Netflix, that factors in there. It does factor in there. I think it's a strong possibility that these articles, and they use influencers on the internet too to throw this shit out there when they're negotiating rates and stuff. And there's a lot of negotiation that has to be done for Snyder Cut 2 if it does go forward. We forget that, because a lot in the fandom said, "Oh, you know what? They announced Wonder Woman 3 right away." But yeah, there was more of a extending contracts and stuff. This would be
so what you're saying is Wonder Woman 3. What you're saying was Wonder Woman 3 was kind of a given anyway.
Yeah,
and then they just turned around and announced it because they felt like they needed the positive buzz. So they felt like, okay, we'll go ahead and announce this, even though, it's. And it's like that's where the biggest difference is between Wonder Woman 84 and the Snyder Cut. The fact of the matter is, there were no plans to go beyond the Snyder Cut, at least from WB's perspective. But with Wonder Woman, they always had plans to do another Wonder Woman movie in the Hamada verse. So I guess that makes sense.
Roosevelt Cavazos, yes. But we don't even have to wait for that. All we have to do is release like the hottest trailer ever. And that also is going to heat up negotiations, which with the timing, we should get something else soon. That would be the perfect thing.
Doesn't it come out in like what, June? May?
This is how I'm going to tell you how one of the ways that one thing that signifies to me that Army of the Dead is going to be a smash hit. They've already got the art book for Army of the Dead up for pre-order on Amazon.
Oh,
that's insane.
Not even that, they're making a prequel anime series and all these spin-offs too. They know it's going to be big. Yeah,
they know it's going to be. It's going to blow everything away. It's basically going to like reinvent the zombie genre.
Well, I don't think that's a possibility now. Like
they were just talking about in the past.
No, I'm just talking about him doing like Army of the Dead and other projects on Netflix where HBO Max.
That was
going to be embarrassed if they lose him. And they have this all is out there. And also, let's get to now Brian's topic that he said before the stream. And I'm like, oh, that's an excellent topic. And you know what I'm talking about, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so go right ahead. This is what he was asking about before the stream. So
this is a kind of something that I've been noticing in a lot of the streams that I've been watching. In 2017, late 2017, early 2018, was right when Star Trek Discovery come out, and most of the reviews were, the Fandom Menace. So, but it wasn't called that at the time. It was just random YouTubers that were making the videos and stuff like that. Basically, a lot of the parallels that I saw then, I'm starting to see now. And it's and it's kind of twofold. It's one, it's like I don't think Warner Brothers learned anything from Disney from what happened. And I honestly think that, I mean, to use a phrase from everyone's favorite character in The Last Jedi, it was a spark that lit the fire underneath the Restore the Snyderverse. So like, it's a real double-edged sword. So all I have to say is, if you don't get it, just don't go to the dark side. You know what I mean? Like, just you know, slow down, recognize, like, hey man,
you see it bubbling. You see it bubbling.
Just a little bit. I'm not it's all over, but
their tactics are way different than ours.
But I will say though, the fandom menace is taking the. I mean, be careful they don't take over the movement either, because every channel today had to Restore the Snyderverse thing. Yeah, every single one of them. Oh no! I mean, I watched a Nerdrotic video. I was like, what?
That's weird.
Well, because Gary was totally talking it up, man, and I was like, really, dude? I'm like, where have you been all this time? And like, he was talking about,
you know what it
how
is?
great the Snyder Cut was.
Regardless how much they like it, because they have to show that they have a degree of reasonability. Oh well, this was a fan movement.
It was Water. It was like when we were talking about before, when Doomcock made that awesome.
Yes, I think it's strategic. Now he might have liked it, but I mean, they have to show that they can be won over.
Well, they've even spun the whole WB situation with Zack Snyder. They're saying, well, WB made him do it.
We have no evidence of that whatsoever.
To be honest with you, even if they did, do you think he'll support their content? No, he wouldn't.
Kelly,
they were pissed off that he was talking to YouTubers, and they can't control what the YouTubers say. So Warner Brothers,
right, and exactly, and especially when you walk into the lion's den with like Geeks and Gamers, because Jeremy was right. He says he takes a dump on Hollywood. He does not like Hollywood, and yet he wants his channel affiliated with a major director. So I mean, that's
his only interest.
I was going to say, and then he says he doesn't need Hollywood. Well, then he doesn't have a career.
Well, but they love to fight against the system, so this is perfect for them. So it's like, oh, we get to throw stones at Warner Brothers now. All right, because Star Wars is basically dried up for them. So it's like,
Star Wars and the Bad Batch should be coming out for people that are into like the animated stuff. I'm not really into the animated stuff so much, so I'm going to be neutral on that. But for the Bad Batch should be a hit. There's nothing suggesting otherwise.
Sure.
And I think we got what else is coming out later for Star Wars this year?
Isn't that a Ahsoka series coming out too?
The Book of Boba Fett comes out in December.
I think that's a 2022 thing. So Book of Boba Fett should be a hit. I don't see anything interfering with that. And crying about The Last Jedi, that doesn't pay the bills anymore.
No.
Right? So you're right, Brian. They need a new cause, so to speak.
And this is tailor-made for them. So it's like, one, you have to disavow, and two, it's like, just pray they don't actually take it over. Like,
no, I don't.
They're not going to take it over.
You know
Brian,
what it is? Because a lot of the people are Star Wars, and I'm not saying they're not fans of multiple things, but in terms of like your fandom menace starting to like gatekeep people, and that's the reason why Jeremy distanced himself, which is like, I found that absolutely shocking. I guess there's no more money to be made there.
Enosh.
Johnny, what's up?
Enosh.
Well, perfect timing, Enosh.
But that's what I understand Brian's concern, and I'm not saying it isn't legitimate, but I feel like there's so many more people that are involved with, I would argue, with the Snyderverse than they were with Fandom Menace.
True.
That they're just going to get drowned out, and you just call out bullshit behavior when you see it.
We have to.
And that's all you got to do. And that's like they're not as strong as they think they are, in my opinion. Especially with these major YouTubers kind of disavowing, or at the very least distancing.
Well, the other major thing you have in favor is there's a lot of normies that are on board now.
Yes.
So it's like the fact that Restore the Snyderverse got up over 1.5 million retweets, like,
and tomorrow we got our
normal people
right?
are doing this. Like,
is it
tomorrow's going to be killer.
Wait, what time tomorrow for like Enosh, everyone streams it?
Enosh, he makes me a happy saggy. I love Enosh. I love Enosh. La Enosh.
I was getting down with that song. I can get down with that song.
Well, Enosh, do you know the Zack Snyder watch party? I was gonna watch that the next time I watch it. have it play at the same time.
Yes, that's great. It's great, Max. It's totally
11. Was it 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. tomorrow? They're doing a watch party across the board, and you're supposed to tweet out at 11 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time.
I got to start putting in on my Twitter bio too and stuff.
Yep. So you start watching it. I've got the picture, but you at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe it is. You tweet out, "I'm watching hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League, hashtag Restore the Snyder Verse."
Matt asks if I'm still collecting. Hell yeah, I'm still collecting. I got to get the
Watchmen.
Pow pow.
Watchmen was pretty good.
I got to figure out something to do with those. But since you popped in, Enosh, this was the main topic. I reevaluated the Ann Sarnoff article. Besides how it made people upset, I was like, you know what? What did Zack do? He did this. He restored Zack Snyder's Justice League and released it for free, right? Now he's not going to do the next thing for free. And then you have to renegotiate all the actors too. So if there was a bidding war, that could also be a tactic to release something like that, to say, oh, we completed it, because he can ask for a good, if it happens, he can ask for a good amount now. And this is what Hollywood does, pushes the stuff out there. So we're good to try to, but the other benefit is Zack was busy while he wasn't with HBO. Army of the Dead's coming out. Netflix wants him. And that also, you want what you can't have is another factor into the Zack Snyder for streaming. I know how Warner Brothers is, again, separating it from Warner Brothers, and upcoming, there is streaming battles of sniping talent. Just look at Pedro Pascal for Last of Us when he's in Mandalorian. Mandalorian's very successful. HBO gets him for Last of Us 2, and he doesn't really need to be on set. He could just do voiceover. There's all these factors. And that what do you think? Is it possible that this was also a tactic for negotiations? Because Wonder Woman 3, I mean, that was pretty much, they already were talking to them. Gal Gadot might already be on for a contract for one more movie, Patty Jenkins. But this is, you got to go fresh in, get a new contract with Zack. What's your thoughts, Enos?
Look, anything and everything could be contract negotiations at this point. I mean, I wouldn't put it past that there was some contract negotiations going on. Time will tell, but I do think the interesting thing is all these people, coming out and look, I how many tweets and DMs and comments I've gotten this week that have said, "Let it go, Enosh. The Snyder Verse is dead. The Snyder Verse is dead. Let it go. Move on." And then, Zack Snyder in just one Vero post is just like, "Yep, keep hashtagging. They got to listen to you." And literally, we broke the record for most tweets about something in 24 hours. Yet nobody wants it, right? Nobody cares.
Yeah, and hardly nobody saw it.
Yeah, nobody saw it.
Yeah. You break that record. We get all those tweets, and they're gonna try and downplay that. You can't downplay that.
I literally did a stream earlier this afternoon. Just I did like an hour stream before I had to be somewhere, and it was funny because one of the comments from somebody, we had like this one lone guy.
He's actually here in this chat too.
Oh, well, good for him. But that one lone guy was all alone. And he's like, oh, well, like 1.8 million tweets means anything.
Roosevelt?
Yeah. 1.8 million tweets does mean something. It meant something when it was about Marvel, right? And Endgame.
But Enosh, we all live in a 1.4. We all live in a bubble.
Oh, we live in a bobble. We do live in a bobble. Look for that T-shirt on the Poindexter Lounge here pretty soon. I live in a bobble.
Oh yes,
I live in a bobble. Hashtag
you should, Paul. You should, Paul. You might have a better chance of getting on his show than mine.
What's up?
I'm hoping that with Netflix.
Nice.
Who is that?
He doesn't.
Who is that?
Nice.
Halogen Helix. He's a YouTuber. He has a channel. You could subscribe.
No, tell him the truth. He's buddies with Andy Signore. That's why.
Well,
that's why you need to know.
He has his own mind.
Well, you need to know. No, he does.
Well,
but that's the whole.
Well,
like,
then
halogen.
Halogen, you should.
Let's
watch
just
me.
not sugarcoat.
You should watch
shit.
me. You know why?
Let's not sugarcoat.
You know why?
Shit.
Because everybody who ends up leaving over there ends up coming to me anyways. And then,
pow, yes.
Because you know what? Because you know what? Truth is truth, and when people run out of stuff to talk about and BS on everybody, even Lunga ends up joking around with me. So there you go.
Yeah, not anymore here.
No, but I think it's funny. I'm like
I'm
pumping gas at a gas station, and I'm hearing, I don't like Enosh. 30 minutes later, Enosh is, in a Macho Man costume, and he's got his hand up a puppet.
We do need to get Matt Wilkins on. That's just his twins. They're older now, though. Beautiful twins. He's a Star Wars fan, but he's never watched the sequels. I keep trying to get him to watch the sequels. He's just not. He doesn't want to trash on them. He just is not interested. He's into the EU books and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
No
shame in that.
Or no, Brian also had a concern, Enosh.
Yeah.
He says we're at the tipping point of invasion becoming overly toxic if Anoff Sarnoff is legit and they do not go forward, and then it's hanging out there. And let's say Ava DuVernay's New Gods comes out and you get a lame ass dark side. I'm not saying that would happen, but then the scenario is even more of a boiling point than Star Wars ever was, because we have legitimate. Okay, this isn't theory. We have what's there.
Exactly. Yeah. So here's what I said earlier today. Yeah. Here's the thing. WB can make this very, very simple. Mm-hmm. They're opening it up to be a multiverse. That should include everything. Andrew Muschietti, who I really like, did the It movies. I was really excited about him directing Flash. I still am excited about him directing Flash. He said that he, everything that we've seen before happened. Every other TV show, movie, everything has all happened in the multiverse, and everything that we will see going forward has happened. That means that, yes, the Snyder Verse has happened and should be a part of this grand multiverse plan of theirs, because that way you reach all the fans that were a part of all of it. You're not alienating people. When you try to alienate one section of this and say, you guys don't count, but everything else counts. All these people trying to latch onto it and saying, see, it's just like Disney and it's just like Star Wars and it's just like us in the fandom menace. That's what we're against. Bullcrap. That is not the same thing. It's not even close. Just because you guys are butthurt over you didn't like a movie because it didn't do what you thought it should do is not the same as taking away a man's movie because you thought you knew better and you were looking for a way to get rid of him. Okay. And then doing this, trying to literally stop the fans from just getting a story. I've said from the beginning, we as Snyder fans need to be concise. We can't be asking for the moon that we just want to replace everything WB has coming out and think that we're going to, replace this whole, multiverse concept and we're going to take over the whole thing. No, I don't want that. I don't want that, because you know what? I watched the Suicide Squad trailer today and I laughed. And you know what? It is okay.
I laughed too.
No. I laughed in a positive way because I thought it was funny. I
thought it was funny too.
I'm sure you did. But here's the thing. Everybody's going to have stuff that they like and everybody's going to have stuff that they don't like. But here's the problem. Hold on. This is what I see right now. I've seen some stuff come out. We can't be harping on all this stuff all of a sudden and go, well, this sucks, right? Right. No, because that ain't going to help anybody.
Right.
You may not like it. I mean, Zod, I love you, but seriously, like harping on that ain't going to help anybody.
I agree. I agree. There's no reason to harp.
Look, is it filled with jokes? Is it filled?
Treat it like a comedy. Enjoy it.
Is it filled with silly jokes? And does it basically look like an R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy?
An R-rated Justice League?
Yeah. Well, no. Because honestly, that was funny than anything that was in Justice League. Except for the Aquaman sitting on the magic lasso, that was funny. That was actually a funny thing that was in Justice League. But the thing is that listen, Do what all you're going to do. Do all these other movies. Do all these other films. But include this other universe. Include the Snyder Verse. And we need to be concise about that and be like, look, we're not trying to take over. We're not trying to tell everybody else what they should like. What do I always say on the Poindexter Lounge? Don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. But don't tell anybody else that their fandom doesn't matter either.
Exactly.
So don't mock everybody else's fandom and say, well, what you like doesn't matter, but what I do does. We got to be balanced. We have to be, for lack of a better term, we have to be fair. Okay. I don't mean to put those two together because that is a bad connotation, but you know what I mean. But look, if they literally just dismiss all of this and just act like we don't matter, well, then you know what? I'm going to step back, and I'm not going to defend Warner Brothers against the wrath of legitimate people who have a legitimate gripe with that company. Because then you know what you're finding out? That Ann Sarnoff and these other people behind the scenes, Walter Hamada and all these people, they are exactly in real life what all these people have been griping and complaining about, just making up that Kathleen Kennedy is. Okay. Yes. Kathleen Kennedy has given us the good and the bad. You may not like The Last Jedi, but you like The Mandalorian. Well, guess what? She hired all the people that did both of those.
Yeah, if she's responsible for the bad, she's also responsible for the good.
You can't have it both ways. And so if Ann Sarnoff wants to be responsible for the bad, or what some people perceive as bad, and maybe the Snyder fans will perceive it as bad because they want more rooted and grounded, okay, and whatever, then do that. Right? She can be responsible for what you don't like, but at the same time, she can be responsible for what you do like, but if you just literally sit there and go, no, we know better than you. And you sit there and contribute to a hit piece on Zack Snyder and to the fans and try to make us out to be a bunch of toxic people that you're not going to tolerate just because we like something else, and try to tell us, well, stick around for a while. You might like what we do.
What we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was she was very condescending, and she did in that article is she perpetuated the negative very, very strongly in that article. And that's the reason why
I'm going to address Halogen's comment there. Yeah, maybe
so many people hating. That's the reason why you have so many people aggressively acting out the way they are, because you have people like Ann Sarnoff who come out and totally trash and crap on the fans because we're not embracing what they want us to. Well, just like what Enoch is saying.
Here's the thing real quick. Ann is saying, and maybe that's true, Halogen, maybe that's true, but she's not the end all be all. She answers to somebody. She answers to somebody. Now, if she were the head of AT&T saying that, I'd be like, well, at least we got the Snyder cut.
Look, if Jason Keelar comes out tomorrow and says, look, guys, thank you for all the tweets, but we're just not going to move forward, then everybody's going to have to just kind of go.
Keelar's not that dumb, Enoch. Keelar's smart.
I know that. I know that.
Here's the other thing. Too. It's like they should care because it's our money and they want it. They should care.
That's why you make stuff across the board.
Right. They want our money, so they should care a little bit.
Yes. And you have to think of all angles. All angles could be.
She's a CEO though, but she could do her own press.
Matt Wilkins, I will say this.
So I don't agree with that statement.
Matt Wilkins, I will say this. I am a Star Wars EU fan, but you know what? I'm a Star Wars fan. I love the sequels. Well, I love the first two. Rise of Skywalker, I like. It's not my favorite. I was mad about it walking out because I felt like the fans ruined it because it just was filled with all these things that they thought fans wanted to see. But I love The Last Jedi. But you know what? I love that first Thrawn trilogy. I love the Jedi Academy trilogy. I love all those early books, man, that came out, man. Timothy Zahn and Kevin J. Anderson and all those things. I love it all. And you know what? I've spent my entire life ingesting this stuff, soaking this stuff in like a sponge. Okay. I love it all. So I don't have a problem with liking or, liking something like that Suicide Squad trailer that came out today, or even Birds of Prey, and being able to find things in those movies that I can enjoy without hating on them or harping on them about all the things that I disagree with them, because there's going to be things that I like. To see Starro in live action, I think that's kind of funny. I don't want the whole movie to be about Starro. I hope it's not. But if it is, I'll watch it and go, that's a part of the.
No, I hope it's all Starro, because that's amazing to me.
Right? I mean, it's cool, isn't it? I mean, the idea of Starro is so ridiculous. If you're going to do it, you do it in a Suicide Squad movie. That's what the Suicide Squad is, But last thing, and I'll just say that. But like I said, I love Zack Snyder's vision. My favorite movies in this world are always going to be Man of Steel, BVS, the Snyder Cut. What if he gets to do anything going forward? I can love it all, but I can have my favorites and the things that really mean something to me. Every movie does not have to have a religious experience like the Snyder Cut for me. Mm-hmm. That's all I want to say about that. And it's not a freaking trilogy. Learn to count.
Yeah. Zeno, I just wanted to address Zeno's comment about my HBO Max trial. It has been confirmed by the person I share my Hulu account with. He very much enjoyed having HBO Max, and he was really loving being able to watch it. So he actually, I told him I didn't want to pay for it, but he liked it so much he actually is going to probably buy HBO Max, and then when he does, I will be able to see the movie with everybody else. So I just wanted to let you know, Zeno, you're wrong. You're always wrong.
Well, let's just do the scenario that they don't go forward. This is a thing that's going to chase them forever.
We still got to talk about Suicide Squad.
It's going to be the
so much
heartbreaking. Lights the fire, man.
Or if he doesn't, Zack Snyder moves to Netflix, signs an exclusivity deal. I'm like, write your own book, Zack. Make a documentary. And that would be damning too. And I wouldn't blame him for it.
Max, like me and Zara were talking about this before the stream started. Like I shared that one tweet about, it's important when we go forward with this movie not to give into hate and not to like spew negative comments in every single new DC thing that comes out, because that's not the way to go. Yeah. That's not going to help. It's going.
You have to do.
You don't want to paint ourselves the way that they talk about this.
You want to try to form a symbiotic relationship, not where the fans dictate what goes on, like the fandom menace wants to do. They want to. They think they're in charge of things, and it's kind of hysterical to watch.
Yeah. I'm going to say this once. I said it on a stream I did, and I'm going to say it here for everyone who listens, because I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. If you are being a disgusting, toxic human being, and you're saying that it's because you're a fan of something, and I am going to say this is going to come off gatekeeping, you're not a fan. Mm-hmm. If you are going to be that disgusting of a human being, to harass and bully and say awful things to people, threaten people's lives, you're not a fan. You are a troll, and you're not a fan because you're not doing anything good for what you are saying you enjoy. So when people say, "Oh, all these fans are toxic," no, those are not fans. I'm sorry, they're not.
No, and I will add to that, if you are an executive who wants to use toxic fans as an excuse to try to crap over everybody and get your vision put forward. Look, I've worked for enough corporations, for enough companies before in my life, and enough bosses that were just all about their ideas and their thoughts and didn't give a crap about anybody else, who would literally use any and every excuse to try to put down somebody else's ideas or thoughts. And so, look, what I see right now is Warner Brothers right now, they're par for the course. What has Warner Brothers done in the last 30 years that gives you any inkling that they know what the heck they're doing and that they give a crap about what anybody thinks except for whoever's in charge at that time? And then what happens? We wait 5 years and then everybody looks back and goes, well, that person was like really controlling and didn't know what they were doing. Oh, here's another person. We're going to give it to them, but they don't trust the people who actually can make this stuff work.
Well, look what RJ, he says this is about the Suicide Squad. We'll give our impressions about that. I think Enoch started to. The replies show a worrying problem going on with DC fandom, guys. Shitting on everything DC puts out just because it's not Snyder is exactly what we should not do, and I agree.
Absolutely.
It makes us look like
that's not what everybody's. That's not what everybody's.
Zach, I want to address Halogen's comment there when you get a chance.
Okay, hold
yeah,
on.
and Zod, by the
Right.
way, you're absolutely correct, and I should have worded that a lot better because for sure, not everyone is
Hell
like that.
no.
It's most are the hardcore people who are like really gonna be like poo-pooing on like everything DC does. I should have worded that better. I absolutely agree with you on that.
I mean, even when we
How
are
is what we're doing? Let me just address this comment here. How is what you're doing from Phantom Menace after going after Lucasfilm for making things they don't like? Truly, you're acting same. No, Phantom Menace gives inactionable criticism to Lucasfilm. We want you to remove the FDW politics from the thing. What does that even mean? Operationalize that. Well, we
Pink
with
hair
the politics, we don't like it. Okay,
Erase the sequel trilogy.
Are we erase the sequel trilogy? Okay, yeah, okay, great. Snyderverse fans, the overwhelming majority of them are clamoring. They just want Zack Snyder's product, and will live and die by that.
Yep.
Let the cards fall where they may. Maybe Justice League 2 would suck. I'm not betting on it, but
Paul, can Eddie
possible.
Talk?
Anyone can make a bad movie. So that's the difference,
Eddie
Halogen. If you don't see that, I can't help you.
Yeah.
And then perhaps you're not as smart as you think you are.
Well, this really.
Right,
or maybe he's just angling for something more firewater, like a word that begins with B, like a bonus.
I was waiting for it. I want to hear Eddie's take because he's always
I'm waiting all day to be able to hear that.
Well, Eddie,
from the source.
Do you think this is also Do you think there's some negotiations going on? Do you think there's a path forward? What do you think of all this and what Halogen Helix too?
Or my tweet because I know you had thoughts on my tweet too, Eddie. So you can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I think there could be some negotiations, but also talk more about the toxic side, how people are claiming that we're having we're doing some bad stuff. No, we're not. When it comes to the Phantom Menace, we do not use the same tactics. When it comes to us
there
united
is crossover. There is crossover.
Yes, obviously, but for us united, it actually means something when it comes to us. It's not no bullshit.
Follow the man's words. He does not. Yeah.
I see the Phantom Menace jumping on bandwagons like, oh, we'll do a charity stream now too. We'll support that.
We'll do a charity stream to make bitches cry. Yeah, that's the reason to do charity.
Yeah, that's what Brian was kind of saying.
Reason to do charity. Jesus,
Eddie,
they're stupid.
What were you saying?
And when there is toxic behavior, we've seen it before. We call each other out on it. We don't keep quiet when it comes to them. They don't say anything. They support it even more. They don't call each other out at all. When you see that type of behavior, that's not necessary. When you're passionate about something, be civil about it, and people will listen. But these people don't do this. They attack people. They make hundreds of videos. It's just
it's a PR disaster, though. I mean,
obviously,
because if they still keep denying the future of the outline that's there, because you can never close this box. It's gonna chase them forever if they don't finish it. It's always gonna be a stain on their existence.
I look at it this way: it's just 2 movies, and Snyder will do them back to back if he gets the opportunity. So just let him do it. It'll be better. It'll be better for Warner Brothers, Warner Media as a whole in the long run if they just let Zack finish his arc. There's just too much. There's just too much heat right now for them to ignore it and pretend like over 1 million tweets doesn't mean anything. I mean, they need to.
The proof's in the pudding. The charity
gave us motivation
and influencers working with Zack was perfectly fine until certain individuals got involved and it became a shit show. And they're called a menace. They actively say fandom menace, and that's exactly what they are to fandom. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, they're at least inadvertently honest with that name.
They're not trying to hide it, guys. Like I don't know. I don't understand what
they're very blatant about everything.
I don't understand what everybody's thing is trying to defend the fandom menace because look,
or Andy Signore won't actually call them out. He wants to call out toxic fandom, but he will not. He will avoid that subject because it costs funds.
What good has the fandom menace accomplished?
Their book, volume 1 and 2.
They cost Gina Carano tens of millions of dollars.
Right. Gina Cupano.
Okay.
And we like Gina.
I like Gina Carano.
I wanted to have a career. That's why I don't encourage people. When I have a friend, or if you're my real friend, Enosh, Enosh has corrected me and Firewater has corrected me in the past. You're like, maybe you need to lay off or calm down because you care about me. That's what you do to someone you care about. You don't let's say double down, hell yeah, when you're doing something idiotic and stupid and ruining your career. Now she's Gina Cupano. The name exists.
Well,
I wanted her to have
a
a career.
That's the thing is those guys, all those guys do is literally feed off of everything else. They don't contribute anything. They literally are just talking heads, right? Literally sometimes they're just talking heads, like if that helmets sometimes. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, they
leech and infect things.
They do. They don't contribute to anything. They're not accomplishing anything. The Star Wars sequels are not going away. They're not going to dismantle them. They can't accept the fact that The Mandalorian and all these shows are leading up to that, no matter how much it's told, no matter how much it's said, no matter how much they literally show Snoke's in a jar during The Mandalorian. It's going to undo it. Like, it's all wishful thinking and trying to keep people angry. That's why you got this guy running around, stay angry. Why would you want to just stay angry? At least the Snyder fans, the people who have worked this hard, what have they done? They've literally tried to prop up a man who was torn down and stolen from.
Goodness.
Who had his movie stolen from. Who had his movie stolen.
That's great, Justin, but that's not good for the. I mean, that's. Not
yeah, but hold on. Let me address this, Justin, because I like Justin.
Yeah, I like Justin.
Here's the thing: they raised $100,000 for suicide prevention. When did they finally do that? When they were going to get Zack. You see, they needed Zack because there's always something in it for them, like was said just a few minutes ago, and I think it might have been Firewater or somebody. I can't remember. Star Wars is drying up for them. Mm-hmm. Look, with each new property that comes out that people like, they're going to have less and less to gripe about, and they needed something else to latch onto. And the Snyder Cut and us fans who have fought purely for this for the last few years and worked hard, don't come in here acting like, oh, we raised a bunch of money. And I'm not saying you're saying this, Justin, but I'm just saying this thing of like, we're going to get Zack on here. And that was what they were hoping, is that Zack would align himself with them and they could use his name like they use Carano's name, like they've used others in their plan. Yeah. And that backfired heavily on them. And now they've they're complaining about it so much, but they didn't raise that out of the love of their heart. You can tell, yes, there are some good people in there who, and I will never just say across the board that any group is just bad, just to be bad, but the leadership behind that group, a lot of the leaders, and you could tell who the leaders are and the followers are because of the way people acted and reacted to what Zack said, because there were people who were just like, oh, and then the people who overreacted had to go on every stream and explain why they were right, and demonize Zack Snyder and throw Zack Snyder under the bus and say horrible things about Zack Snyder and about how he's Hollywood this and Hollywood that. Really? Because it's kind of weird the fact that, you know what, he's been on the outs with everybody for how long? He has been literally a director of the people. He has literally gone on just nobody's streams, people who aren't a million subs or whatever, right? I mean, he's been out there doing this because he believes in something, because his daughter suffered a tragic end, and he and his family suffered a horrible tragedy, and he believes in that cause. And I'm sorry, but anything to latch onto that, I'm saying for themselves, the fandom menace, regardless of what have they done for Star Wars? What have they done for Star Wars in their own group? Not latching on to our group, but in their own group. What have they done? They didn't raise $100,000 for suicide prevention just because of their in the last few years to be good.
All right, Paul's going hot. I'm going to highlight his comment because he's not being abusive or anything. But
how dare I, man? Well, I can tell you why I can. How dare I can? I can watch them. I can watch them. Literally, when you watch somebody, and you know what? Here's the thing. When you watch somebody over and over again, make it all about them.
Yeah.
You see their motives. They don't have to come out and say, we're doing this just all for us. When you see them turn it around and make it all about them, give me a break. You know what? You can tell when somebody is being truthful, and you can tell over time whether or not somebody is really doing it out of the love of their heart or what they're doing it for. I'm not saying every one of them is doing it that reason why, but you know what? The leadership of that, they've shown their hand that they're literally willing to lie. They're willing to throw anybody under the bus. They're willing to turn their backs on anybody in a moment's notice. They're willing to eat themselves alive to save face. Nobody in that group who do you see ever say, you know what? I was wrong. And not with a, but no, be real. Be real. That's not what is happening here. Yes, I can make a judgment call when I see something like that as to what somebody's motives are. Just like all of those freaking television preachers who also claim to be Christian, if you want to throw that in my face. I hate that too, because they're scum suckers who are taking people's money and they're going out and they're doing this kind of crap. And you know what? Everybody jumps on them and says, ooh, these people are horrible people. And they are. They're the worst kind of degenerates out there. And they use the name of God for their own benefit. And you know what? I, as a man of God, hate that, and I would not stand up for that. And I talk about that because you can see their motives. You can see what they're doing by their actions, and it's the same exact thing. So don't come at me with my religion, with my faith, with my beliefs, tell me I'm a Christian, because I'm going to give you some righteous indignation right back at you and let you know it's all garbage and it's all wrong.
Okay.
Hey, Halogen, just a couple of questions for you, my guy. You know, who do you know who legitimately raises money for charity, does a little shit talking stream before they do it?
And during?
We're going to make bitches cry. We got Zack Snyder on our side now. Hollywood better look out.
Here's the thing,
so that's a legitimate question. I want to see him answer
Paul
that.
has also done that. Paul has assumed that we are what is the word? A hug box. Like this is our hug
he
box.
doesn't seem very intelligent. I have to be honest.
I
think he's trolling.
But I'm saying people assume other people's motives as well. Like I've seen you do it, Paul. Like no offense, and I'm not judging you for it, but I've also seen you do it. So again, people will, based on what people see, can assume people's motives. That's everybody does it. Everybody does it.
No, but I would like his answer to that.
He's going. It's a delay. That's why I'm letting him, do his thing. Wait to thing. But that's what I mean. It's crazy because
he's bankrupt. He doesn't have an answer.
But that's what I'm saying. It literally comes down to how many times do people? Paul, how many times?
If you're gonna troll, do a better job.
I know what he's trying to say. You want to use the lingo on me? Yes, that is the fruit of the spirit. So what are you showing right now?
I wouldn't even give him time of day. This dude's a troll.
What do you do in defending people who literally have used people for their own benefit? Are you gonna defend those who would do that with others? Because I will not defend that with the Fandom Menace and the leaders of the Fandom Menace. Because you know what? I see there's good people in there, but I see them being used. Look what they did to those who were hosting that stream that Zach came on. Oh, you should have done this. Laying into them, making them have to backpedal and feel like they had done something wrong simply because they were there. You don't do that to people. You don't run over people like that.
Well, I think the proof is in any other YouTuber or something would just accept it and be like, okay, and move on, or say, like when he's talking.
He's just. I wouldn't give Halogen any time because he doesn't have an answer to my question.
He's
bankrupt. He has nothing.
Guys, just to piggyback off of that, how many of those people were saying in those very chats that they wanted to take their donations back?
Yeah, they wanted a refund. They're all full of shit.
Let's talk about how legitimate that charity stream.
Yeah, if you're really raising money for the charity, you shouldn't be concerned about the secondary benefits of having a celebrity on your channel.
Exactly.
You should be focusing on raising the money for your charity. You shouldn't be bragging about. Let me finish real quick. You shouldn't be bragging about. We're gonna make bitches cry because we got Zack Snyder for our charity fundraiser. Like no legitimate person raising money for just a cause says that. So I don't know what to tell you, man. You're just trolling.
Well, my thing is like when people say, "Oh, you're assuming people's motives." Most of us on this panel, we're YouTubers, right? Do you know how many times we get called clout chasers or grifters or shills, or we're just in this for the money, or we make our content because we're trying to do this and that? Our motives are always in question daily because we just make videos. And yeah, maybe some people. Everyone here on the panel, we have our own reasons why we got on into YouTube and do the things we do. We all have our own reasons. So again, everybody does it. Everybody assumes the motives of everybody. And I get it. But it's fair to say, if you see someone publicly doing something, we deep down inside, we low-key all judge everybody. We judge people.
For my opinion,
a common human trait.
I go based on actions because I think
but you judge, right?
Well, because based on all the interactions, Zack Snyder hasn't had any issues at all.
Max, I'm just going to put this troll to bed really quick. I'll restate the question one last time. I don't. It's not a difficult question. Okay, let's try again. Okay, Halogen. How many legitimate charity, raisers or operators or people raising money for charity make a stream before the charity bragging about how they're going to make bitches cry when they're raising money for charity with Zack Snyder? How many legitimate people have you ever seen do that are really in about the charity and not in it for the secondary benefits? I don't understand why that's a difficult question.
I think Jeremy even tweeted it. Was it giving money equals being a good person?
Yeah. How about Kathleen Kennedy's agenda? What about the agenda he has?
And not only that, dude,
there's an agenda.
If you're going to come at him with the Bible, there's another part in there where it talks about boasting about charity.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that.
And Corey,
you're just supposed to give to things.
Corey,
without,
everybody has
so I mean,
bad,
it's bullshit. He doesn't have an answer.
There's also
I can restate the question again. Maybe I'll slow it down so he can understand. He doesn't seem like he's too quick.
There's also a thing called discernment, and it's called discern who you associate with and what you do, who you do things with, and know who you're with. Look, when people come at me and they ask me, well, why can you stream with Matt Jarbo? You know what I tell them? Because I've talked with Matt Jarbo. I know Matt Jarbo, and Matt Jarbo has publicly made apology after apology for what he's done. And the day that Matt Jarbo comes out and does something else and goes against that is the day that I will publicly say something about Matt Jarbo. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to come alongside him and help him in any way I can. Not because I think I got to change him or I got to be something too, but because it's the right thing to do. The problem is that you got a bunch of egos running around just stating stuff, talking about stuff, trying to act like they're the biggest dog in the room. And that's all they care about, is just being the biggest dog. And dog is not the right word. Let me just say that apparently in the Suicide Squad, there's an island with a beach full of what they're trying to be the biggest of.
Yes.
Okay. So I will just say this: when you know some of the stuff that's actually going on behind the scenes and who people really are, kind of changes your perspective.
Yeah, and I love Justin. A lot of us here, like of all people, I love Justin. I think Drunk 3PO is a good person. He does before he became big, he was doing this charity stuff and going above and beyond, and he blew up. And again, who people associate with doesn't necessarily determine who they are individually. Like, yes, they might agree on some things, which is why they came together, but they don't all agree on everything. But they still let people do them because it doesn't affect them. So that's why I associate with who I associate with. And if people don't like each other, that's fair. But
and it does matter. It does matter. It does matter what the motivations are. Because
absolutely it does.
It does. 100% does.
So like I said, if you look at Zeverfett, when he makes those shirts or jerseys he sells, or is it like a what is he sells a shirt, right? 100% of the proceeds.
It's a jersey. 100% of the proceeds.
Exactly. He doesn't have his branding on it. He doesn't have to whatever. And so that's the reality. And so if you're gonna they weaponize charity. They say, well, we give to charity, therefore when we act like assholes online, that's okay because we raised X amount of money. It's not a shield for criticism.
Well,
whereas I don't really see any Snyder people doing that. If they raise money for charity, they just give it to the charity.
And Halogen, if you want to know what God thinks of it, the Bible actually says that God loves a cheerful giver, one who does not boast, one who gives out of the love of their heart to expect nothing in return.
You know what I was depressed about on that stream beyond all the chaos?
It does matter.
All the chaos, how indoctrinated and far removed they are from reality. They didn't even know a tragic event happened. They're so invested in this anti-SJW stuff that they don't even know that there's bad stuff happening to people in the real world. They're like, what is this? They don't even know. They didn't even know about it.
By the way,
what about the video? Okay.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of charity, every year on my birthday, and once I start, once I get monetized, I am going to do a charity stream because I do every year. Instead of asking for gifts, how Facebook came up with that charity thing. Every year on my birthday, I ask people to donate to the Lupus Foundation because I have 2 friends who do have lupus. So every year, and that's a charity I believe in. And instead of, I just say, hey, everybody please just donate to the Lupus Foundation, because there are people who are suffering with lupus. I have 2 friends who are affected by it. So yeah, there is it does matter what your motive is, because if your motive is to do charity because you need the clout, or you're trying to make it seem like you're this good person, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm doing my charities because I have people who are affected by this. So again, yes, motives
and there's plenty of
matter.
charities. There's plenty of charities who've given all the money back.
Right.
I wonder if they actually accepted the donation or not.
I know you were bringing that up the other night, Firewater, when we streamed. I mean,
they could kick it back, and then Zach's going to have to cut out a big check for that.
We'll never know.
And as far, Halogen, as your answer to Andrew about I came after Enosh because he threw everyone on that stream into the same boat, and that's not cool with me.
The stream he didn't even watch.
Did you not
no
even
context?
Did you not even hear what I said?
Yeah, that actually makes sense that he didn't watch it.
Did you not even hear what I said?
God dang.
I literally just said to you and to everyone watching this stream that there were people on that panel that I believe were not a part of that. But some of those leaders who've been boasting and running their mouths and trying to be something, those are the people that I have a problem with. There are some people who were caught like a deer in the headlights on that because they didn't know what to do. The host, who went later on a stream and had to backpedal to make Jeremy happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch streams.
Do you watch streams?
He didn't watch the one in the middle of it either,
I watch streams. I read books. I watch movies. I don't talk about just a bunch of stuff and pull it out of my butt.
Do you watch my streams though?
Every once in a while, I do.
See, he watches my streams.
Daniel 841. I wasn't even going to talk about that tonight. It's somehow brought. I'm not going to. I'm not going to avoid subjects either, though. If it's
this is where we all go.
But no, my whole thing is
I actually have movie topics set up besides Snyder Cut too.
I mean, if you didn't watch the stream, you have no basis to attack anyone on this panel for anything.
I'm he's just being a troll. Well, I have this opinion. Well, your opinion's unfounded due to you not having all the facts, but I still have my.
Well, he's got to defend. He's got to defend his people. That's what it's about. He's got to defend his flock of idiots.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, I explained why you're wrong, and then I called you a troll, but that's okay. We don't need order of operations or anything like that. Why? I guess you're one of those. I reject reality and replace it with my own kind of people there, Halogen.
Yeah.
I would say I'm disappointed, but I don't really have a very high bar set for you.
Oh, a couple of things. First of all, the Gold Man. Thank you, sir. And by the way, everyone go subscribe to the Gold Man, not because he made a nice comment towards me, but because he does excellent work when it comes to Star Wars. Because it's fair, it's balanced, and it's sound, and he knows what he's talking about.
He has one of my favorite sayings.
I feel like we're spending way too much time on Halogen. What's the next topic?
So I will answer this. Somebody asked me. Somebody else asked me who I have a problem with. Who particularly do I have an issue with at Geeks and Gamers? I have a problem with Jeremy. And let me preface this by saying I would talk to any of those people and actually have a conversation back and forth, because I would like to hear how they excuse some of the things that they've said and some of the things that they've done. Jeremy in particular, because he's supposed to be leading this whole thing, and he should be leading by example and not be egging everybody up. But the reality is that he came out and loved a bunch of stuff back in the past, but when he saw that it was profitable for him to turn corner and hate on things, he has continued, and now he is in a loop of just hating on everything that he can't get out of, even if he wanted to get out of it. Okay, this guy right here, Mr. Doomy and Gloomy, I got a problem with him because he makes up stuff out of the blue and then tries to lie and say that he's got spies inside Lucasfilm, which is an absolute lie. It's an absolute lie. He's been found out to be a liar. People have literally planted stuff on 4chan for Doomcock, and he's taken the bait, and he backpedals, and you could even hear it a couple of weeks ago. He literally had a tickle in his voice as he was trying to save face. Okay, I have a problem with Ryan Kinnell. I'm glad that he's a DC fan, and I see that passion. But you know what? I've watched Ryan gripe and complain about how they're not using any of the old books and the comics and the Star Wars stuff that I loved in the EU, which I love too. One of the biggest tragedies, I think, is that Mara Jade has not made an appearance in the sequels or any of the things that we found yet, at least. But, I think that's horrible too. but then you're going to sit there right at the same time and then get mad because the Emperor was a clone. What the heck, man? That was part of the EU. That was a major part of the EU.
Dark Empire
1 and 2.
I actually didn't know that.
I can't imagine these people if they would actually bring up the fact that Luke Skywalker in the EU went to the dark side and became the cloned Emperor's apprentice.
It was an incredibly compelling storyline.
Awesome.
Matt Jarbo, awesome. He has a birthday stream in like 15 minutes.
And it was awesome. I'm just saying. It was awesome.
What other topics do we have? Like I said, effectively
okay, this is Oscar Isaac. What's that Disney Plus show? Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. He's training for Moon Knight. He looks so I was like, oh yeah, I've seen training videos. No, this is legit. Watch this. This is Oscar Isaac getting ready for Moon Knight.
Matt Jarbo is old.
What do you think of this? I'm excited.
That's awesome.
I love Oscar Isaac.
Great. It looks awesome. Do you know what I think about it?
Matt Jarbo's at a trampoline park.
Oh wow, that's it.
Yeah, he's really legit.
Dude, he's doing the Eddie Gordo from Tekken, man.
Yeah,
he's busting out the
Max.
Was that Brazilian dance by capoeira, right? Is that Brazilian dance fighting?
Yes. Do you know what I think about this?
What?
Matt Jarbo is old.
Oh
yeah. Well, thanks a lot.
Damn, he almost broke that guy's arm.
I'm about the same. Wasn't that legit?
That's pretty cool, man.
It was pretty cool.
I was like, I've seen actors train before, but man, I am looking.
Yeah, Eddie Gordo, man. He's
Poe Dameron movie.
I don't know much about Moon Knight. I heard he's similar to Batman a little bit.
Imagine Batman if he was even more insane and had multiple personality disorder.
That whole thing.
I don't know anything about Moon Knight, but that looked cool.
Yeah, no, it looked really cool, and Matt Jarbo is old. It looks so cool, though. I really appreciated you showing us that clip. Matt Jarbo is old. What?
Saggy, when we find out your birthday, I'm going to do the exact same thing you're doing now. But I'll be nice.
We all got it.
When you do that, RJ, just remember to say that Matt Jarbo's old.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Everyone. To be fair, considering how young I am, everyone on the
I'm probably older than all of you.
We all got to head over to Matt Jarbo for his birthday stream. Even Justin.
By the way, listen, guys.
Y'all got links to be on Matt Jarbo's birthday stream.
Guys, I just want to say
but as I always like to show on this stream, I've got a C-3PO with a penis.
Oh boy,
that's awesome. What?
Oh no,
that's the best thing ever.
Goldenrod.
Where do you get those wonderful toys?
This is a great time to talk about Justin Proper's channel. By the way, guys, I do hop on Justin's channel. He has a great show. It's called This Week in Bullshit, and I want everyone to give.
That's actually an appropriately named show for Justin. Yeah.
Well,
wow.
Here's the thing. Awesome. It's a fun show, and I want more people to check out Justin and get to know Justin so they can understand that not everybody in a group is a piece of garbage. And Justin is not a piece of garbage. And I want everyone to check out Justin and see what he's about.
Everybody has an opinion.
Right. I mean, everyone does have an opinion, but at least go and check out his channel. I've been on his channel once a week. We have a friggin' blast, and it's not drama. We just talk about crazy stories that we come across online. It is a really fun show. It's a really fun show.
Apropos.
It's fun. And I get always put next to the poop emoji. So, I mean, it's fun. It's a good time.
All right, so Matt Jarbo was running late for his own birthday stream.
That was pretty cool. So when is Moon Knight expected to release?
I don't know, but
2022
I'm going to start
probably next year because the schedule is going to go.
COVID.
Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki, then Miss Marvel. Loki, What If, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, and then probably Moon Knight. So probably not till next year.
Fourth quarter 2022.
No, I'd say like early 2022, like maybe like March or something.
Oh, okay, cool. So Justin says it's actually fun and it has nothing to do with what I'm doing here.
No,
thanks a lot.
Very rarely does Justin talk about drama stuff. Once in a while, we talk about like controversial stuff, but not often. But it is a really fun show.
Are you the co-host of that show, Saggy?
I'm not a co-host, but I do show up a lot on there. It's fun. We have fun. We read stories.
Okay. Take it easy, man.
I'm dying. Hold on.
I know.
Yeah, it's a fun show. It's a fun show, and I have fun over there, and we have fun. That's what it's about, right? Everybody having fun, and Justin has fun. That's what he likes to do, fun.
So what you're saying is Justin is fun.
Justin is fun.
All right.
He's a
Very
a
cool.
bag full
What's
of
our
fun.
next
Is he fun size?
Producer Firewater
he is fun
wanting a
size.
top. Yes, I have another topic.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Okay, another topic.
All
What
right.
do we got?
Black Widow is coming to Disney Plus, so I am going to. I think at this point, when it comes out in May, I'll have to see when I get my shot. I didn't get my shot. I took hours off of work. I had all my paperwork, and then they say they made a mistake, so I did not get my shot.
Am I the only one?
I
I
had a similar experience, Max. You're not alone.
I feel like I'm the only one not excited for a standalone Black Widow movie.
Oh,
'cause
I'm excited for it.
I
now.
don't.
I'm
care
excited
about
about this.
I can't wait to see
I'm
it.
more excited about this than Moon Knight.
No.
Oh, come on.
I
you
feel
guys.
like
I'm
Disney
not
Plus
excited.
release was inevitable. I think $30 is a little steep.
Yeah,
It should have been 20. 20
We're
would
going
have
that
been nicer.
Mulan route.
So I don't know. I have to make a decision. I mean,
Are they
I don't know if
charging
I want to
for
see
it?
it that bad.
Are
Yes,
they
it's
charging?
going
Yeah,
to
they're
be
gonna
$30.
Well,
Yeah.
then I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch it on Disney.
Well, how long does it take for it to become a regular Disney Plus? Like 60 days?
3 months.
Okay,
months.
90 days.
I'll wait.
I could wait the 90 days.
I
I mean, that would be
I've waited
something
this
I would
long.
take my wife to maybe go see a movie, because I drag her to all the Marvel films, and she drags me to her movies, which are not Marvel films.
Considering it's
you know, all the
July, I feel like
rom-coms
I'm
and all
going to be
that shit.
vaccinated by that point.
So,
So, yeah.
you know,
If I'm vaccinated, I'll go. I'll go see it in theaters.
yeah. Well, we're fully vaxxed, so we're all set to go. But
Well,
like,
I'm
but
fully
I don't feel.
vaxxed.
I still don't feel comfortable sitting in a movie theater.
We're fully vaxxed, but I would have gone before that. I mean, like my theaters are open. We've been in the theaters, and when they opened up for a short time here in Michigan, and we went because we were distanced away from everybody. We were fine. I mean, we rented out a theater and showed The Empire Strikes Back, and we had 25 people in a auditorium that seats 450 people, and I mean, we were fine. So yeah, I mean, we all wore our masks, we did our thing, and but like with this, what, if I was going to do it, I'd probably go for this movie because I actually care about Black Widow, and I think Black Widow. Wow. I think Black Widow got screwed over. She got a raw deal. Yeah, I feel like they did something.
The hype
to
has
her.
died down a lot because of
I
COVID.
feel I feel like though they did something to her though, like in Endgame though, that was like they took one of the most intriguing characters that people really loved and had probably a bright future where they could have done sequels with her in the future, and like why kill off that character? Like literally. I don't know. I just feel like it was a mistake, but I mean, they know what their story is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not excited for Black Widow movie, but also Matt Jarbo is old, so.
Well, Saggy, I'm a Marvel shill, so whatever they put out, I'll probably watch and like. So
that is saying a lot, Justin.
I mean that Oscar Isaac getting into the thick of it with the action that immediately goes to the top of my list. I'm like,
okay. I'm just gonna be honest with you though. I've never cared about Moon Knight. I know there's a lot of people who do, but I don't really know that much about the character.
I mean,
it's not that I just hate it.
There's some great Moon Knight.
I
think you'd like them.
I only like passively like Black Panther until the movie. So I mean, until the live action.
That's how I felt about Iron Man. Like I'm not going out reading any Iron Man comics, but I like what was in the MCU.
MCU has made me interested.
Look, I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought the Guardians of the Galaxy, honestly. No, hold on, Saggy. I'm saying when I first saw listen to me. When I first saw the first trailer, I looked over at my wife and I said, "Oh boy, I don't know if people are going to buy this. I mean, there's a talking raccoon and there's a talking tree and everything." But then I was like, "But this looks kind of funny." But I really thought like this could be the one that doesn't hit. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious. This is awesome." And now it's one of my favorite Marvel movies because of that. Because I think that it's great, but they've taken if Marvel's done anything, they've taken properties that literally nobody in the general public has cared about or known about, and they've made them household names. You can't tell me that Guardians of the Galaxy was a household name. Nobody knew who Star-Lord or Gamora was. Or
I did.
I did.
I'm just saying the average person,
the general audience
had no. That's what I was saying. The general audience did not know who those people were, but they went because they trusted Marvel up to that point of having done the main characters well, and and that's what you do. you know. So
Matt Wilkins says Moon Knight is a cross between Batman and Dr. Fate from DC.
Yeah,
that is a great comparison.
I have a question for Enosh.
I want to buy a Moon Knight mask. Yeah, I do.
I have a serious question for Enosh, but we have to blow him up so I can ask.
I've been trying. Okay,
Max, blow up Enosh.
All right.
I know, but blow him up real quick. It's important.
I'll blow him up real
So
good.
tomorrow, Enosh, you're having Ray Fisher on your show, the Poindexter Lounge. By the way, tomorrow at what time is it again?
10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ray Fisher will be on the Poindexter Lounge.
Okay.
Wow.
Now,
and we're actually raising money for AFSP.
Yay! So
is your logo on there?
Is your logo?
Were you putting your logo anywhere?
Is he gonna start the stream saying he's on?
I didn't just throw my logo on something. No.
Okay, so my question for you.
That would be hugely embarrassing.
I know everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel.
The difference is though is Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher would actually be happy to be associated with me because he is happy to be associated with me. I will have you know.
Justin loves your
he
Homer
tweeted about
figure.
So I have to ask, and everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel wants to know, and it's an important question. When you're on the stream tomorrow with Ray Fisher, are you going to cosplay as Cyborg?
Please.
I've got a standee. Hold on.
Well,
poke the
I'm not even highlighting that, Paul. Why would you want to focus on the positive? Why would he ask him all that?
Why would I ask him what?
Paul, I'm not even highlighting.
Because he's trolling.
I'm asking. I was asking if you're
going to
cosplay.
Charity stream. You're asking him to go into drama. Like,
again, this guy's just here to troll, and he's seriously pissing me off.
Here's the thing. Look, Ray will say whatever Ray wants to say.
Yeah.
That was the rule. That was the rule that it wasn't even a rule. It was just that was what we talked about when he was on it. He said, because I even asked him, I said, hey, I want to keep it chill. I want to keep it, positive, obviously. But, and he was like, hey, you can ask whatever you want. And all I can tell you is whether or not I want to answer that or whether or not I don't want to answer that.
Hey, Matt, that wouldn't happen. And even if it did, we could handle it like adults and be like, okay, he has to say this, whatever.
No, he won't.
I know he won't. But even if he did, would you handle it like an adult? Like, okay, let's move on.
Absolutely. If he said that, I would just say, oh, okay. Because you know what? I'm not an official part of if I wasn't an official part of something, I wouldn't try to act like I was.
Yeah. Not only that, it's not the first time.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask is about the cosplay.
Can I get to Sebastian?
He may have asked to come back.
My producer Firewater is telling me to get through these movie topics. So this is Sebastian Stan talking about possible Luke Skywalker casting. Oh, come on, Callie. Come on.
Callie's excited about this.
She's trying to get the kitty upstairs. She hears the kitty upstairs. And she's like, ruh, ruh. All right. Now I'm all boomerang. Hold on. Okay.
And people are wondering about you playing perhaps a young Luke Skywalker. I know he's going from Marvel to Disney.
Sebastian Stan's got top.
And to Star Wars. And even Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, has tweeted his support.
Well, if Mark Hamill calls me personally to tell me that he feels inclined to share this role with me, then I'll believe it. Until then, I won't believe it.
And people are wondering about you.
That's all. I think it's gonna happen.
Hamill will. Yeah, Mark Hamill. If he already showed support and he sees this clip, Mark Hamill will be on the phone like, make it happen.
Oh yeah, because Mark Hamill has already said that he felt that he would be fine with it. I mean, so because you know what, Mark Hamill isn't about gatekeeping the character or doing any of that stuff. So. Look, I don't know. I think it'd be fine. I think that really they probably should have gone that route anyways. For
the end of Mando season 2.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a game changer.
I think the reason they didn't do that partially was because they didn't want it to leak. If they cast a real actor, it would have leaked right away. Even the cast members on set didn't even know who the Jedi was.
Yeah, so. No, I get it. You know what I really kind of wish that they had done is just let him keep the hood up, because look, they're going to have to, they're going to go back and tweak that again at some point. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just, I guess part of it is I had it spoiled for me, so I already knew.
Oh, that sucks, man.
And so it's very unfortunate because unfortunately, then I ended up spending more time looking at things like the CGI. So I didn't have just that kid-like excitement of just knowing it was Luke. So thanks, Nicotina. Love you. I don't let him live that down on our Discord. We literally have a channel called the Nicotina Spoiler Recovery channel. So, you know, for those who have been spoiled by Nicotina.
Oh, I thought Nicotina showed up. Nicotina, come back, man. Nicotina's mom. Maybe I'll get her.
Nicotina's mom.
I really want to see you talk to Nicotina's mom. I really do.
Oh, I want to talk to her one day. I just want to interview her.
Yeah. Now let's get to, and I don't know what the hell's happened with that.
I was going to say Falcon Winter Soldier episode 2 was pretty good, actually.
I didn't finish
it was great. It was great.
I actually dug it. Like, I was like, oh, all right.
No spoilers, but there's a certain scene that like made my heart go, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. They're handling a lot of the subject matter really well, in my opinion.
But you know, some people are already using the word woke already for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, those people, we can just ignore them, okay?
Well, it's got the girl that was in Solo who played Ifness or whatever.
Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, all right, I like this. This is good. And I always liked Baron Zemo from the Civil War. So like, yeah, no, I think it's got legs.
I still have to watch episode 2. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow. I was slammed.
I agree with that, Justin.
Oh, you haven't watched any yet?
I have not. No, I have
not.
It
might be good though. It might be good to binge it, honestly.
My wife.
I just didn't get a chance to start. So,
but my wife wasn't sold on one of the new characters, and then as I was getting further in the episode, I'm really digging him. Like, really, I like his character, but I still have to finish the episode. I didn't finish it. Because I watched it on my lunch break from work, and I only have 30 minutes lunch.
Justin wants Eddie to talk more. Eddie, what do you think about Falcon Winter Soldier?
I was just talking about it, how people are already saying, because obviously there's some.
Wait, is there spoilers? Because I didn't see the second episode yet. I still have to watch it.
Yeah, don't get spoilers, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, we already know how it's going down. New Captain America, and then they already touched upon it, saying like before the show came out, they were going to touch on some subject matter when it comes to some people of racial injustice and stuff like that.
I was going to say, don't be a Nicotina, dude.
I'll be careful.
You know, it's just on the stream.
Well, I'm just kidding. If he has a spoiler, it's not the end of the world. It's not like.
I'm kidding.
But I mean, they did in the first episode. Go into some. There has been studies that suggested that there is kind of racial imbalances in terms of applying for loans and things like that, and they got kind of dunked on, even though it appeared that what's it called? Falcon had the assets, or he had the income and the assets to suggest that he would be able to float the loan and be able to make good on it.
Paul, I will address this, Paul. You feel free to say your comments and stuff, but we also try to have a show where we talk about movies, and it kind of if your comments are interesting comments from your point of view, but it kind of derails the movie topics, that's where I don't highlight them as much.
Well, you keep calling it an echo chamber. Max has actually told you many times you could come on, but then you kind of say something. That. No, you have said that. You said that before.
I said you're never coming on.
No, you've said you said
say
before.
what you wanted to. I said say what you wanted to chat.
But you said before that you could come on way back when, and he never came on.
Oh, Max never said he could come on.
No, he said it once. He has said it once.
I'll think about it, Paul. I'll think about it. But I don't want to derail the movie talk segment, because then there's some people here want to be here for movie topics.
Yeah,
right, but Paul, you might not be talking about the.
We heard what he had to say. His opinions are redundant and
just going back and forth in circles.
Difficult to take serious.
Circular talk, like Ryan says.
And listen, I don't know Paul, but I would just say this. If Max wants to have you on the stream, that's great. But what you said about Enosh and Zod, I just can't get behind that. I don't like when people bring religion and stuff.
It was beyond inappropriate. But
I guess he said something about me and Zod.
Good about what he said. I don't know why he would. But
Paul did.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about Enosh.
Let's move on. Right.
He's not really worth any time.
Well, I was going to say,
Nick and Lex, something positive.
No, we listened to 2112, the full album.
We love you.
Which I wish I could have been there. That sounds like it would.
I lip sync.
Way to go, Nick and Lex. Love you guys. Talk about some positive people, man.
Yeah, those guys
I
Nick and Lex are pretty cool.
We had a blast over there, and the Rush family is so cool. I mean,
Josh, we got to get you on in the next one to rock out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so sorry I wasn't there. I would love. Look, as a musician, I would love to be a part of that for sure.
I don't know what Justin's talking about yet because I didn't watch the whole thing. But
no, it was the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier where like the mortgage officer wanted to take a selfie with Falcon. Like, I can't grant you your loan, but I can.
That was kind of douchey. I was like,
I can see somebody doing that.
That's spoilers for episode 1, but that was really interesting. I never thought of that point of view because you think about people that are suddenly back in the world and how do they move on, like their jobs and if they want to get a loan or something. Yeah, loans.
There's a 5-year gap of employment because I got blipped.
I never thought of that. Did you think of that, Firewater, before?
Yeah, I'm glad that Marvel is starting to deal with like the real world consequences of things. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like you could just blow up cities in that universe, and they're like, no, everyone's cool,
right?
You know, but in this time, they're like, no. I mean, Falcon's sister, I forget the character's name, but she was like, while you were all fighting, your wars, that's great. I had to hold down this fort here. I'm trying to run this business. We have this old boat that our parents own. It's a piece of junk. I'm trying to sell it. Selling the house. We have to down. And it's like, whoa, no, half of that house is mine. You can't do it. And so they're getting into like kind of like real world disputes, and it would be interesting. Like, what do you do when people magically come back 5 years? Like you said, you don't have a credit. You're not going to have a credit history for 5 years. How are you going to get a bank loan? Like in general, but I mean, he showed assets and things like that, and
Yeah, I think they were trying to give people more benefits because of it too. But obviously, something you had to really think about is some people can obviously be pretending that they were gone for 5 years to take advantage of that. What they're trying to do with the economy and everything else too.
Well, all right. So now I want to talk about our final thoughts on the suicide.
Captain James Biggins, can I just address something with Captain? If you haven't noticed by now, when I come on Max's stream, I do things a little differently because I have to match the madman's energy.
There's a certain level of intensity you have to get.
So you'll notice I'm known to go on my rants every once in a while, but I get a little red in the face and I get a little excited here on Max's stream. But part of that, let me take you a little bit behind the curtain. Part of that is a little shtick. It's a little bit of a comedy routine, like when I dress up as Macho Man and I do my whole thing. I'm not trying to let you in on that, but sometimes I got to be the madman and do a little craziness,
I appreciate it.
And so there's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth mixed in there.
It's called movie madness, entertainment.
There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth mixed in there, but it is what it is. So don't make me bring out ET again. Start doing
no, please no. But Suicide Squad, what did you think of it? I saw the Red Band trailer. I'll tell you what I thought first. I liked parts of it. I thought I'd be. I'm looking forward to it. I like James Gunn. I've had issues with him in the past where I thought his comments were bad too, but then I've moved past that point of my YouTube career where everyone says something stupid. If you cancel, if you do hold this to everyone, you're never gonna have anything to watch. And he does good content now. If he starts doing his tweets again, then that's a different story.
Exactly. I will say this: I look, anything that Margot Robbie is in as Harley Quinn, I'm going to absolutely fawn over her and every scene she's in because Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is absolutely perfect to me.
This is the best she's ever looked, by the way. I think she looks amazing.
Oh my god!
Like just the outfits they've given her. It's perfect.
The only thing that I had a little bit of an issue with that wasn't even really a part of the movie was I thought it was a little self-indulgent when they were like from the, what was it, like when it had the wording that said something about from like the extremely beautiful mind of
the horrifyingly beautiful
mind of James Gunn. It's like, that okay. Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
That's his trailer stuff, though. They just want you to know it's.
I know, but that seemed just like way over the top to me. But like, I thought the trailer looked good. There was probably one or two too many jokes because the whole thing was joke after joke after joke.
I thought it was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, am I going to go to the theater for that? Is that the first movie I'm going to see back in theater? No, I'll catch it on HBO Max because I'll watch it from home. I'll watch it on my 4K screen, even though I'm sure HBO Max doesn't upconvert to 4K. But I'll watch it on my beautiful brand new Sony TV. But I thought it looked fun. I'm not going to take it too seriously. I think it looked like a fun movie, at least so far, and maybe it'll suck. I don't know, but I'm willing
Justin,
to.
did you see the Suicide Squad trailer?
No, I have no interest in it.
Oh, okay. What about the other topics? Moon Knight.
I really liked. I liked what Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going for. I like what they were trying to do. Cool. Again, as I was saying in the comments, the whole bank loan thing. I like the idea, but the way they betrayed the character. It just who was like trying to give up the loan. It would have been so much better and would have had more emotional weight if he was not like a douche about everything and he was just being like he could be all fanboy as much as he wants at the beginning and stuff. Like, okay, I'm so excited that you're here, but then he like goes and he tries to help him like showing disappointment. Yeah, like showing disappointment and just being like, look, I really want to do something, but he has a job too. He has a job too that he has to protect. And it's when you guys were talking about like real world consequences and what a great concept that is, that things happen and actions have consequences. Like Tony Stark is never coming back. Yay, good. I don't want that. I was going to say
that. You mean like DC movies?
I mean that's depends which
or at least
ones.
the Zack Snyder ones.
Did you see the Snyder cut, Dustin, or you no interest at all?
You know what? I could care less.
Okay.
I tried, but then I realized that I have to watch Batman v Superman and I have to rewatch Man of Steel, and I don't want to do it again. I really don't. It's just not for me, and that's okay.
Well, a lot of people who didn't like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are loving the Snyder cut, Justin. So maybe
I'm one of them.
The Snyder cut another chance.
If you're not interested, though, it's a big investment. Though.
My thing is like part of the enjoyment is you need to watch the previous installments to more accurately enjoy it. That's just kind of the thing. Like if you can't just go into you could, but it would be kind of confusing if you just went into Back to the Future Part 3 without watching the other two movies and you had no interest in it. Well, to begin with, and you're not going to like the other two movies. Also, you're a weirdo for not liking Back to the Future. I've never met a person.
Does anyone not like Back to the Future?
Well, no, I agree with Justin.
Unless you like time travel movies, that's fine. But
I agree with Justin because I watched Justice League before I seen Batman vs Superman. And there are a lot of things I didn't understand until I watched Batman vs Superman. I was like, okay, that makes more sense now. So I kind of agree. Like it does kind of put the whole story tied together. When you see certain scenes, you're like, I don't get the reference here. And then you got to it was a reference from a previous movie. And now it makes sense. And now I can enjoy it and be like, clever.
Right. And the trilogy is, Batman v Superman, starting with Man of Steel and then Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it's just like, that's like 9 hours of my life that I'm never going to get back. And I might not even like it at first. I might get bored again during Man of Steel. And I liked the other Superman movies. So
the word might was in there, dude. The word might was in there. You might like it.
I could, but it would have to be one of those things that I have to go back and, I have to see for myself. I'm willing to give it a second chance, but again, I can speak for a lot of people who are in the chat here, and everybody who's on this panel that, we all have lives, we all have jobs, and all these very long movies are an investment. And if you feel like they should never feel like homework. It should never feel like, okay, we have to watch this just because. We shouldn't. Like, I don't want to. If I don't want to watch, if I have no interest, I'm not going to.
Well, what if they greenlit a sequel series? Then would you be like, oh, maybe I'm gonna jump in then?
Well, it depends what it's gonna be about. Are they gonna have Robin? Is he? Are they gonna explore? I'm not gonna go into the lore with Batman and Robin,
Yeah,
and
how
they
Robin-
share a bed and stuff. I'm not going to.
Oh, wait,
Robin
what?
wasn't PBS. How come Robin wasn't in Where was Dick Grayson?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they
Going to
there's this whole thing. You never heard of this thing? The Batman and Robin are are a thing.
Well, he was underage at a certain point too, so I don't know where this is going.
What does that have to do? I mean, yeah, there's people who want to make more of it than it is, but no, I mean, like that has nothing to do with Zack Snyder or the Snyder Verse.
Well, that's the thing. I was asked the question of, there's going to be like a sequel series or something. Like, okay, it depends on what you're going to go for, what direction you take.
Dude, can I
too much of an emphasis on the Batman and Robin.
Can I just say something right now?
He's making a joke.
I know you're never going to have to worry about that being the focus of a Batman series.
I don't care.
I'm just saying that, like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not what that's going to be about.
Well, it could be. I mean, if it's age appropriate.
No. I just think that, Justin, I understand your point, though. Like you said, if you want to rewatch Man of Steel or rewatch BVS, and if you're not interested in that, then perhaps the Snyder Cut might not be your cup of tea.
Watch them with someone. Watch with someone who likes them.
I think it would be worth it for you, but.
You could dress up as Robin. I think
then you disagree.
Justin.
But I feel like
thank you as the boy wonder. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like though once we get moving along with, I'm very curious to see if they do greenlight Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, because I don't feel like that is over just yet, because the buzz on the internet, and I'm curious to see. I mean, the only bummer with subscription numbers is that you only get a release when the company, like if they want to release, oh, by the way, we have 30 million new subscribers or whatever. You don't really get the numbers like Box Office Mojo can provide box office data, those sales, and you can see how well a movie is doing. But the problem is you can't really get that with the streaming services unless they choose to release. So that's where it's kind of like I'm hoping that people sub to it to watch the Snyder Cut, and I'm hoping that they continue to sub if they can. But we'll see what happens. I don't think that battle's over just yet until either Zack says he taps out and he says, you know what? Yeah. I have other projects. It was a great run. I wanted 5. I got 3. I'm happy I got 3. All right, then Zack says he's done. Or if I'm sorry, what's the CEO of AT&T again?
Jason Kilar.
Jason Kilar. If he says, "Hey guys, sorry, we just can't do it," okay, then you know what? I'm happy we got I'm happy we got Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman.
Yep.
And what's called
that's the beautiful part about us having got the Snyder Cut, because having gotten the Snyder Cut, you can legitimately, as a Zack Snyder fan, be happy either way it goes. If Zack decides to move on and is going to stick with his Army of the Dead universe and other projects, nobody could blame him considering how he's been treated and stuff. But the reality is we got a fantastic movie, and you want to talk about ending on a high note. If Zack Snyder doesn't do anything else for DC, he's going out with a bang. I mean, if the Restore the Snyderverse is any indication of how people feel, I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
but nobody's watched the movie. Nobody's watched the movie, and nobody's tweeted about it or anything. So
it's no big deal.
Hopefully, it can get some traction at some point. It might take a couple of years.
They're all bots.
Can I just say for
they're all bots, okay? They're all bots.
I
right?
know.
I just say for the chat, because everyone keeps talking about the Batman and
you got your Russian bot right here.
Robin thing. Everyone keeps talking about that's cute.
Yes,
the Batman
comrades.
That is a thing. It's not a canon thing, but yes, people do ship Batman with Robin. But also, Enosh, I wanted to bring up the point before I forget. You remember? Have you seen Gotham?
Oh yeah, watch the whole thing.
Okay, just remember, if anyone's seen Gotham,
last
don't
season,
forget. They tried to make Penguin and Riddler a thing. Just keep that in mind.
They didn't try to make. No.
Hey, what?
He was in love.
Hold on. Penguin had it. No, hold on.
Yeah.
No, Penguin had a thing for Riddler, but they didn't try to make them a thing. Riddler didn't reciprocate that. He didn't. I get what you're saying, but yeah, that's an oversimplification. Though,
it was weird.
Hey, shipping and fan fiction is popular. I don't care. I don't care as long as
they did Kirk and Spock.
Okay. For the first time, I actually mute my mic when I'm going to the bathroom, and then this happens. It's an ongoing joke.
So what you're saying is, Justin, while we were talking,
joke. Someone heard me flush the toilet once, and people made a big joke. That's all.
Justin, what you're saying is while we were talking about Batman and Robin or the Riddler and Penguin being together, you were holding your junk.
He does it often. See,
what's wrong with that? We've all done it. We've all done it.
I cannot
unsee
Justin proper as the Boy Wonder now. I keep imagining him in his costume.
Well, Justin, there's no shame in that. One of the first times I ever streamed with Matt Jarbo, I got done and I was off of the the stream, but I was watching it from the backstage and I didn't realize I was still in the show. Like, cause you start just watching it. Right. And so I was watching the rest of the show and, back then I was streaming from my phone. So I got up, I thought I was out. I was watching the show. Little did I realize, Matt could see everything that I was doing if I aimed properly. And I was watching it while, I took a pee and then I realized I was in the backstage area and I'm like, oh.
You weren't on the stream, right?
No, I was not on the stream. No, I was not on the stream. But I had my own stream. I was doing my own stream.
Man. Oh, okay.
The biggest question we have to ask, because I asked Justin this too. Did you wash your hands after Enosh? That's the most important question.
Look, I know where my junk has been. It's the rest of the world I'm scared of.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Bonus. Look, you
own it. It's clean. It's a bonus clean.
You know what? People could say as much as they want about Matt Jarbo, but I highly doubt that he would be screen recording backstage. That I don't think you have anything to worry about.
He didn't say
that's a step too far for anybody.
I didn't aim it down, but if I'd been looking at my phone just the right way,
it'd have been an instant takedown. So just think about that.
No, that was on your stream, Enosh, that happened.
Yeah, right.
Hey, it happened to Dawson too.
You gotta
really?
be careful who you let on a call-in show.
Yeah, apparently John Cena showed up there too.
Happened to Snowdub too.
Really? Oh man! I'll tell you what.
They had a complex thing on Snowdubs. They had different people when they were trying to get his attention over here, and then all of a sudden, bam! But on a positive note, Us United is doing another event tomorrow.
Can't wait for this. It's gonna be awesome.
Remember, if you haven't yet, even if the hardcore got us here, got this movie released, but maybe we should start carrying the hashtag too. But be positive. If you carry the hashtag, mean it. Us United and mean it. And then Enosh is included in this nice day of I believe you're going to be watching Snyder Cut and talking about it. 4 nerds. Pop culture corner. I don't know pop culture.
I'm gonna be on there as well, Max. I'm gonna be on with Louis Centeno on Sunday as well. Possibly the 4 nerds. I'm still trying to work that out.
And you know what? Can I just point out too about the hashtag Us United? You know what? Look, hashtag Us United is not about all of us agreeing with everything or about us all having the same take on everything or even feeling like everybody's whatever. Hashtag Us United is about recognizing that we've all come together for the same purpose. There's people who have different ways of getting there. There's people who have different ways and methods that they've done and different things. But in the reality is it all contributes. It's all there. It is not about one group or any other group or person or whatever. It's never been about that. Hashtag Us United is literally just about having seen this through, having seen the Snyder Cut come to realization. Folks, we all watched something just this last week that doesn't exist, according to certain people. But guess what? It exists now in all of our heads. We've seen it. We've been there. And now we can revisit it. So,
well, we got the 2-minute warning to the Matt Jarbo show, and it's his birthday. So if you want to go over there and give him some love. He's had a rough month. He's still got a strike on his channel, but he's on the Hollywood After Dark. He's not on $3 Theater. He has lots of side channels. He can stream on Hollywood After Dark.
He can stream on 2 of his 3 channels.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. Like he totally forgot. He totally forgot he had Hollywood After Dark. He's like, oh yeah, I have this channel. I can just start streaming.
Andrew,
good for him.
out, bro.
Oh yeah, let's all. No. Us united.
I actually have to dip. I'm actually quite exhausted. I will catch you all later. Thank you for having me again, and I enjoyed the discussion as always. Looking for. I'm going to see if I can watch that stream with Ray Fisher tomorrow, Enosh. I don't know if I'll be available, but I would really like to see what he has to say just about anything.
Firewater. You know what? If you are able to make it and you are there, I just consider that a bonus. Bonus.
All right.
When is the bonus T-shirt coming? I need to know.
I got it.
Have yourself a great evening, everyone.
We got to make a bonus T-shirt for sure. That was the best thing ever, Firewater, the other night. Bonus, DC, the executives of WB had to put out that movie so they could get their bonus. Yeah, bonus for you, bonus for me, bonus for Zod up there in the corner. Zod, you want a bonus? You look like you could use a bonus.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bonus for everyone. Bonus for this guy. Look at this guy here. He's a little chilly. He needs some heat on in his house. He needs a bonus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah. These other people can't even afford cameras. They need a bonus. Look at them. They need a bonus.
I got my camera.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know why you were highlighting me this time. All of a sudden, like people are finally talking about Eddie here,
what is it
and then you focus on me. No.
What is it going to take for the Boy Wonder costume? I want to see it.
I don't know.
Justice for Eddie.
I'm gonna go. I'm over on Matt's already. We'll see you there.
I love how everyone just ignores Justice for Eddie. Guys,
we love Eddie.
Eddie's awesome.
Enosh.
Me and Eddie have something amazing planned. We keep teasing it, but it's happening soon. Me and him got orders and T-shirts. They're gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Okay, match over Jarbo starting, so I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna hop over there, but I'll keep the stream active in case Saggy and Justin always need to catch up.
Post the link.
I have work tomorrow, and I want to make sure I have enough energy for tomorrow's big stream with Bay Fisher, because I begged and pleaded for Enosh to let me on so I could just call him Bay Fisher and then leave. That's all I want to do. I'm gonna be like, Bay Fisher, and then I'm out.
Okay, I can't wait.
That's literally it. I just want 2 seconds of airtime to say Bay Fisher.
Oh, we're at 2 hours. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Yeah.